Hi Stampers, it's 𝘾𝙧𝙧𝙀𝙧 from Stamping with Kelly, and I'm so glad that you're joining me for this virtual online card club event. This event I've been holding in some form for 18 years now. It's pretty incredible. But 5 years ago, we switched to online, and I'm so glad because even more people can stamp along with me. So if you're watching this video on Facebook or the replay on YouTube, I'm so grateful that you're joining me. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm so curious because we do have people joining from all over the world. I'm based here in in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. It's stamping land in my room, but honestly, I'm up here in Canada, and so I have people crafting with me from all over Canada. So if you are in Canada, reach out and I can send you a packet of supplies. Looks just like this, and then you can craft along with me. All you need are stamp sets with sayings, neutral ink pad, and some adhesives to put it together. Sometimes I take it up a notch with some extra supplies, but for the most part, honestly, all you need are some sayings and some supplies. So I'm just taking a look to make sure, do we have people joining? And can you please comment along if you are here with us? So this is our monthly online card club, and this is another round that we are starting here. So I run my cards clubs continuously all year long, but there are some perks to joining at certain times. So in January or in July, if you join for 6 months, you actually get special gifts from me. So this can include products or special projects or access to bonus classes, things like that. So you'll definitely want to join for the 6 months. So what does it mean to join the card club? Well, it just means that you're going to commit to spending at least $35 on products, whatever you choose. And then you'll get these monthly online card club projects mailed to you or in the bin on my porch ready for pickup. And you'll get a bonus card if you do it that way. So you get your projects for free. You get to choose whatever products that you want to order. I really recommend things like saying stamp sets and neutral ink pads and some adhesives to go along with it. Then you know you're going to be using it, but you might be inspired to order a whole bunch of different things depending on what appeals to you. So I do have special bonuses every month as well with a minimum $100 order. So I'll get to that in a minute here, but I'm just going to flip back here and make sure that everything is good. It says I'm live, so that's great. So we do have some special promotions, and I kind of mentioned that sweet spot of $100, and that's a sweet spot for Stampin' Up as well. So this week, if you're watching this in the future, I'm sorry, but please reach out to me if and I'll let you know what current specials are happening. But starting tomorrow, July 23rd to the 25th of the year 2025, maybe I have to say that too, this is going to be free shipping with a minimum $100 order. So this is such a great deal because we have a new program called Stampin Rewards, and that earns you 10% towards a future order with every $25 minimum spend. So when you get the free shipping, that means you're saving almost $11 in shipping, and you're earning $10 towards your Stampin' Rewards in the future. So you're still earning based on that full merchandise amount. I love a promotion like this. And I think it's a great time for you to stock up on all of your essentials. Take a look through your adhesives and make sure you've got those glue dots and those things that you don't really think about sometimes, right? Make sure you've got another pack of glue dots, another roll of your tear and tape, lots of dimensionals because you know you're going to need them, and of course refills for your Stampin' Seal. I also recommend looking through and making sure that you've got Stampin' Blends that are nice and juicy and not drying out. It's a great time to ensure that you've got refills for all of the ink pads in your collection and that those are all inked up and ready to go. So if that feels overwhelming, you know what, you feel free to order whatever you want. We've got a fantastic full annual catalog to choose from right now, and there's so many online exclusives, you guys, like so many. It's nearly I would say the amount of new things in the new catalog is being released as we go here throughout the year. So I'm so excited about those. So just take a look at my website. It's www.stampingwithkelly.stampinup.net. And you can go to the online exclusive section under Shop Now. So Shop Now and then online exclusives. You can see everything that's not available in a catalog. We even have items carrying over from previous catalogs as well. If they sold really well and they were really popular, then they make them available for a longer time than even the printed publications. So make sure you're checking it out. There's great new kits, lots of fun to be had there. Let's see, the amount, the $100 amount is a sweet spot, like I said, and that's where you'll also get some goodies from me. So this month, you're going to get the makings for a shaker card. So you can turn one of our cards for tonight into a shaker card. So this one here with the rainbow. If you're planning on spending over $100, you might want to wait on putting that together because you're going to get shaker card supplies from me. So everyone who places an order over $100, and if you place it over the next couple of days, you're going to get free shipping. But this month, if you place an order over $100, then you're actually going to get these Champagne Iridescent shaker pearls. So these are flat backs. You can glue them onto your project. There's over 600 in a package. So you can make lots of gorgeous shaker cards and glue them onto tons of projects and really embellish the heck out of everything. So you'll get a full package of those, and then you'll also get a window sheet sized perfectly to fit that card, and also the dimensional strips to turn it into a shaker card. So I can't wait to show you that in a couple minutes here. So $100 order. If you've placed an order already this month, it is $100 cumulative this month. So if you want to know where you're at so that you can top it up, you just let me know, okay? And I should mention, for the free shipping, if you did want to pick up your projects from my house, you can get free shipping for orders under $100, as long as I'm placing it as a part of a group order. Group orders, I can't take credit cards, but I can do email transfer. So if you want to do an e-transfer for those, then you can save on a little bit of a minimum spend there too. So just let me know and I can place the order for you. So, oh boy, I already transitioned it and then I transitioned it back. What am I doing here? There we go. So I mentioned some new products that we have. I'm honestly just so excited about these. We've got this Pears Suite, which looks so beautiful and elegant. We're going to be doing that for our first official card that we're demoing tonight. I'm showcasing 4 cards in total. The first one is a bonus card if you pick up your supplies from my house, or some people who get it mailed to them for free, get their projects mailed to them for free, choose to pay a little bit more and have the 4th project mailed to them as well. That's typically a bonus for people who come and pick up from my house, because I want to treat you instead of spending money on postage, right? Right. Okay, let me tell you about what I have here to show you. We've got 2 new kits which are available. This one here is super cute, this Pop-Up Pals kit, and then there's also the Make a Memory scrapbooking kit. I have another couple to show you here actually as well. Oh, my brayer is sneaking in. There we go. Go away, brayer. My laptop is sneaking in on that side. There we go. So the first kit that I want to show you is this Pop-Up Pals kit. Again, so adorable and so unique. Oh, I did this and then I didn't transition you. There you go. Now you can see what I'm talking about. So the Pop-Up Pals kit is a really unique kit because it makes 4 deluxe cards. This includes no stamping, and it's great for kids to create the cards on their own, or if they're younger, you might need to help them out a little bit. For reference, my 5-year-old crafts often along with me, and she often will stamp even more clearly than some of the adults that craft with me. Mom, I'm not calling you out, but I'm kind of calling you out a little bit. But yes, it was your words. We were crafting together on our lake holidays here, so I can say it because she said it to me. But these ones actually have no stamping, so it's even easier for a new crafter. The instructions are so clear and concise, very visual based. So once you get your crafter started, or if it's you that's crafting it, once you get started, it comes together really, really quickly and easily. So let's take a look at what we've got going on here. We've got die cut tags in many languages. We've got cardstock bases, bananas, rainbows. This one has got like little dots and then like a jungle theme. So the jungle theme pop-up is this cute monkey that goes inside and will just explode out of the card. Oh no, sorry, that's a lie. This one goes with the Triceratops. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, I hope I don't sneeze. This little Triceratops gets built over top, and then he opens his little mouth here. So this is the bottom, and then this is the top. I can show you the instructions a little bit too. Okay, so the inside, so the outside looks like this, and then the inside has this little Triceratops who opens up his mouth. Then you also got the dog and the cat, which are crazy cute. Oh, and I should mention there's matching envelopes there too. So the dog and the cat go into this card here, and the dog is all curled up here, and it's going to pop right up off of the card. Then you've also got the rainbow card back, and that includes a pop-up unicorn with amazing Pegasus wings. And so that, the outside looks like that. And then the inside has this leaping Pegasus unicorn out of the card. And then the final one that I haven't showed you yet is the banana one. So the bananas and that crazy monkey, here we go, who pops right out of the card. So these are really fun and unique. Again, they come together so quickly and easily. And one thing that I know kids need are birthday cards, because kids go to a million birthdays, and it's nice to have them prepped and ready to go. And you're giving your child, or you, whoever you give this to, it can be an adult as well, an experience instead of something else. So even if you have a birthday coming up that your child is going to, I would recommend pre-purchasing this kit and having maybe a few on hand, and then you can gift your child's friend an experience instead of a toy to have in their house. This is a really fun crafting kit with no supplies really left over except for the cards, which they can use to share the love with their friends. Another kit that we have is called Share a Smile. This one's a really cute one too, and again a little bit unique. You can see that Stampin' Up! is really switching it up in terms of the kits. Sorry, it'll take a second there. So this one has supplies for 8 unique cards. You can see that the designs are kind of similar, but the accessories and the embellishments that you put on them are different. So this one makes 8 unique cards along with these cute little starburst envelopes and a little box. Once again, you've got no stamping in this kit, so you're not paying the premium for the stamp set and the ink spot. This one is another great one to give as a gift for a stamper of any experience level, because it's a full experience in one box and you don't need anything else. This is another kit called A Look Back, and this one you can tell is a little bit different. Always takes a second for that to adjust. But A Look Back includes all the supplies to make a little notebook journal. So let's start here with the journal itself. And when you open that up, you've got pre-printed pages that are, I gotta get this box out of here, that are ready to go, ready to be embellished with more fun and journaling. You could use this as a travel journal, or you can use it kind of like a smash book, scrapbook kind of a look. But what I like about this is it includes everything that you need. So once again, you've got your adhesive, you've got loads of your tear and tape there. you get a bunch of sayings. So these ones here are French and German. The English ones are somewhere. Here they are. And these are all stickers. These are cardstock weight stickers that you can just peel off and stick onto your project. It's got all these little typed words that come off as little rectangles. And then you've got the cursive ones that you can put along with it too. You also have gorgeous gold stickers. And so these are fully gold, and then you just peel them off and stick them onto your project. And maybe my favorite sheets in this whole package are these fabulous alphabet and number sets too. So you can actually put all kinds of headers and titles on your pages and really call out fun and exciting things that are happening in your life. So in addition to all of that, you've got 2 sheets of each of these pre-printed designs too. So again, 2 sheets. So you're going to just pop these out and put them together on your projects. In the instructions, they give you a few ideas on how to put some pages together, but really it's kind of just up to you. And so I was just crafting with a friend last night who was saying that this is just perfect as a gift for her granddaughter. She always crafts along with her grandkids, and so she was really excited about that pop-up kit, but she's also so excited because for the older granddaughter, I should say, she's 12 years old, and this is just going to be a perfect little kit. It includes little pockets that you can put together and adhere to the pages. This one is a really cute pocket that just folds in like that and gets glued onto the background. And then you've got, again, more of these. I don't know if there's 2 of this one. There's maybe just 1 of that one. 2 of everything else it's looking like though. There we go. Some more pockets, some that look like little ruled pages, and more embellishments. So again, if you want these kits, these are online exclusives. They are not available from a catalog, but they are available to anyone who wants to purchase them. So that can be new and old customers. It can be demonstrators. You can be not even a crafter and you might fall in love with something like this. So again, that one is called A Look Back. And all 3 of those kits are available online right now from the online exclusives. Now, you might be interested in more full-blown scrapbooking. I can't open this, I don't think, because I'm going to hit my camera. But let me show you in this kit what we've got going on. This is Make a Memory Scrapbook Kit, and it includes all the supplies and instructions to make 3 scrapbook layouts. So these are double page 12 by 12 layouts, including all of the embellishments, everything that you need to create these pages. So I just love the look of these projects. It's so cute. It comes with a whole bunch of embellishments. These are all laser cut again, so you just take them apart. And you've also got these 12 by 12 pattern papers, but these are actually thicker cardstock weight than our standard designer series paper weight. It almost feels like a regular cardstock weight. You got a whole bunch of tags here, and these are actually stickers, so you can just peel them off and stick them onto your pages. Again, you're getting different languages here as well. You've got a bunch of sticker leaves. Oh, there's some more languages there. Maybe you want to make a scrapbook page for your bilingual friends. You've got a bunch of border pieces, those ones there too, some background pages, and some tags. These are laser cut. Some more background pages. These are so pretty. Aren't they great? What's not showing very well on my monitor anyways is this light petal pink color. It's really, really pretty. Maybe you can see it a little bit better on this one here. I love the colors. They're so fresh. More tags, more background papers. You can have a lot of fun with this kit. You know what, actually? I'm remembering now that this kit is a little bit of an open-ended crafting kit. So you can be inspired by the instructions that they have, but it's more so they're going to give you a whole bunch of goodies and then you can play around with it and make it your own. So this was actually gifted to me when I was on the incentive trip just a couple months ago. Was that? Yeah, it was a couple months ago because it was in May. We went to Disney World. It was such a fun treat, and Stampin' Up! Always loves showcasing new products to the leaders of the company who are in attendance. So that was a real special moment to get to see a whole bunch of new things coming. I did some scrapbooking lately. Do you guys want to see? I just went on a little vacation out to my family's cottage out at 𝙧𝙧𝙘𝙚𝙘𝙀. It's about an hour from Edmonton. We had fabulous weather and there were 12 of us out there having a blast. And I got some stamping done. So I'll show you some other projects that I made a little bit later. But I was using one of Stampin' Up's scrapbooking kits. So this is the Wildflower Birthday. This one might not be available anymore. You'll have to check online. But you can definitely purchase bits and pieces of this workshop kit. But the scrapbooking workshop itself is only available with all these instructions and all the materials included for the scrapbooking workshop product code. So just make sure you take a look at that. So how this comes is a whole bunch of pieces of paper that then you trim and you follow the cutting guidelines here to create the bits and pieces that you will use to put together 6 pages. So 3 double page layouts. So it's really easy to use. They've got the designer series paper that you use, and then the cutting map. So you even do the cut orientation. The scissors indicate which is your first cut that you're going to be making, and then you go from there. The numbers indicate which layout it goes with. So there's 3 layouts, so you'll have different numbers for the different layouts. And what I did was when I was cutting them, I just put them into piles in the numbers that they coordinated with. And then when I went to go assemble the sheets that had all of the bits and pieces going onto them, I had everything ready to go and I didn't have to go back and piece through them. So when you get to assembling the pages, it says the detailed instructions on how to lay it out. And then after you've laid it out, put everything where you want it to be, then you go back and you can stick it all together. So it comes with a whole bunch of stickers and die cut elements, and then it comes with all of the supplies to make the 3-page layouts. So the first layout that I did was this one here. It's not even big enough to show. So this one has a beautiful scalloped edge as a border, background paper, and then you can see there's even these photo markers so that you know which pictures to put where. So you've got 4x4 pictures that are going in 3 places and 3" by 4" photos that are going in other places so that you can order your photos accordingly. Then we've got this one here, which is a really fun spread. This one here has like a lot of layered elements, which I really liked. And it even includes these die cut elements here too, which are so pretty. The words are all stuck on there, ready to go. And then I can just put in the pictures right where these little markers will be. Or I guess where they are right now and where the photos eventually will be. This is my favorite layout with this squiggly background. I love this one. Oh man, the puns. Sorry guys. So this is a perfect birthday layout, and I just can imagine the pictures that I'm going to take of my daughter, and I'm going to put them in here when it's her birthday. I think this little layout speaks to her personality perfectly. So I love having those scrapbook pages ready to go. Just put them into my album and pop the pictures in and work my way through them that way. But I feel so accomplished. I was able to finish those in just a couple of hours, and it was kind of fun. The rest of my family was playing a board game, and I was trimming up all of my pieces and putting them together right next to them. So that was really fun. Wow, I talked about kits for a long time, hey? Let's talk about different types of kits a little bit here. So We have some different kits available, which are called Paper Pumpkin. Those ones are a monthly subscription service. So these are a surprise to us, demonstrators as well. And it's really, really fun crafting experience. So if you like giving yourself the gift of crafting, consider getting 1 month, 3 month, or 6 month, or 12-month prepaid subscription. And sorry, the 1 month there's not a prepaid subscription anymore, but you can just sign up and then it will be month to month. What is included in this cute little box is everything that you need to make a whole bunch of projects. Typically it's cards. Like I said, it's a bit of a surprise, but typically it's cards. And these ones here from the Full of Charm kit, this is the one that shipped out in June, but it came after Card Club last time, so I didn't have a chance to show you. So Full of Charm includes 9 cards, 3 cards of each of 3 designs, as well as a stamp set that's included too. This one actually has distinctive stamps, which means they're kind of etched and they have this realistic kind of quality. So you get this beautiful look on the leaves. You also got some great sayings there. Included in your kit is a pretty peacock ink spot so that you can use that for these projects and keep using them for all your projects after that too. We have the new kit that just came. It's called Sweeter with You. And this one is another really cute one. Oh my gosh, I'm seriously in love with this kit, and I'm a part of a group called the Paper Pumpkin fan page, and the creativity on that Facebook page is just incredible. I'm seeing a whole bunch of alternative samples coming out already, and I'm really inspired about this kit. So this includes 2 each of 4 different designs, and you can see it's all strawberry themed. So with this one, we've got the little strawberry basket with the gingham background. You've got this really bold green background with the strawberries and the little flowers. You've got strawberries that are actually on the vine, and these cute little strawberry, the background, and then you've got a little strawberry and a flower there too. The stamp set includes strawberries, surprise, surprise, and so you got the little strawberry, you got the topper, and then 2 flowers, as well as some great sayings here. Hello friend, thank you, life is sweeter with you, you're the best, and love you lots. The ink that comes with it is the Garden Green ink spot. Okay. What's coming next? Oh, as a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you actually have a perk to shop the coordinating add-on. So if you take a look here, this coordinates with 3 months of Paper Pumpkin. So starting with the July kit, then the August kit, and the September kit will all have coordinating images here. That's only about $16, I think, to purchase it. So it's a really great deal, and it gives you these cute images. I like that the strawberries can have the little seeds popped out of them, like cut out of them, or you can do just the strawberry outline or just the seeds as a little speckle. Our upcoming Paper Pumpkin, if you sign up now till before August 10th, you're actually going to get a bonus stamp set. So this is pretty exciting. And this one is called Farmhouse Florals. So you'll remember that this is a little bit of a surprise for us. This is all I know, but Farmhouse Florals to me evokes like a little bit of a country theme, right? Or nature theme for sure. And of course we've got the florals in there too. So I'm thinking like they've got their teapot full of flowers or something like that, or in the past we've seen like milk jugs with flowers, but that's just my speculation. But of course, great value to get this kit before August 10th. And just a reminder that any products that you purchase, including Paper Pumpkin, our kits, anything from the catalog, you're actually earning Stampin Rewards. So you want to make sure that you opt into this when you're checking out online, and you're earning 10% towards a future order. So love that. You just have to spend at least $25 and then it will automatically be added to your account. So what do you think? Should we get started with our first project? I talked so much about Paper Pumpkin. Would you guess? Our bonus project is actually from a Paper Pumpkin kit. Surprise, surprise! I love paper pumpkin so much. And I know there's so many people in my life who love paper pumpkin too. It's just such an easy way of crafting. And I put together quite a few cards from this kit out at my lake cabin. So I've got these ready to go to be donated. I like to take my cards to the Ronald McDonald's house. So if you ever want to donate cards, if you've got too many in your collection, or say they're not to your style or to your taste, whatever, you don't see yourself giving them out, please just reach out to me. You can pass these along to me and I'd be happy to donate them on your behalf to the Ronald McDonald House. But other places just love receiving handmade cards too. I know seniors facilities and many different care facilities really love giving out handmade cards. So the cards that we're making here for the bonus are going to look one of three designs. So you'll either have received the fern, which if you put it together as per the instructions in the kit will look like this. You can see you've got that gorgeous scalloped edge and you've got this little bit of a layer here with the vellum. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but it's like a see-through paper. And there is a subtle vanilla like spritz on the background of this white paper. So you'll see I'm going to show you a technique that's going to take these up a notch. So you might have the peonies or you might have the blackberries on the bush here. Isn't that pretty? I love how simple and nature themed these are. And the first thing that we're going to do is make the envelope. And I say make because in your little kit you've got a blank envelope, which would work. You could put a mailing label on that. But what they've done is include these little stickers that can go on top of your envelope or on top of another project of your choice. And that allows you to really take up the experience to the next level. Now, I talked a little bit about how we're going to modify this card if you'd like. I'm going to use Mossy Meadow and a blending brush. So I'm using the larger blending brush here. There are two different sizes. You can use either one. It doesn't really matter. But I like using the blending brush because it really will bring out this coating that is on this white paper. So I don't know if my camera can even pick that up. No, it's looking pretty white. There's like a little bit of like you can see a tiny bit maybe. But when we do this technique, it's really going to stand out. So you may want to figure out where your little embellishment is going to go and then start with your blending brush right there so that you don't get a big sploosh on the paper. It's nice to start there and then you can draw the color out. And this just creates a little bit of like a grounded background to accentuate everything that goes on top. And I'm not putting this on evenly. You can see the splooch that happened there, but again, it doesn't matter because my little embellishment is going to go over the top. But now when I bring this closer to you, you can really see that little speckle that's on the paper. Can you guys see that? It's almost like it resists the ink. So I created this card here yesterday, and you can just see the difference of how it takes this card up a notch. Both look beautiful. Both look really nice, right? But this one definitely has a little bit more of that wow factor, right? So now I've got that one. You can use the Mossy Meadow as your stamping for your tag. You might have a circle tag, or you might have a rectangle, or you might even have this beautiful oval. You'll just find a saying that fits in there. If you purchase this paper pumpkin kit from me, and I say from me at this point because it's no longer available from Stampin' Up, but I do always order a few extras, so it's nice to have it on hand. You've got this stamp set here. You can see I've been using them with the ink pad that was coordinating with this kit, which is Blackberry Bliss. And that one tends to dye the photopolymer a little bit. You can coat your stamps with Versamark first. And if you have questions about this, just reach out to me. I know sometimes I'm speaking like a different language, but I can help and walk you through this. But you can coat them with Versamark first, and then they won't absorb as much color. But if they end up like this, you don't have to worry. It's not affecting the quality of the stamps or breaking them down in any way. The stamps are just perfectly fine. So I've already done the stamping for this kit because I was, like I said, stamping like crazy out of the lake. So I just have these all ready to go, and they always include extra tags. So I've got even some extras to use on other projects. Love that about Paper Pumpkin. You always have a few extras to really play around with. So I'm going to put that out instead. Like I said, you've got a lot of coordinating colors in this kit. If you're ever wondering, on the back side of the instructions, you can see at the bottom, coordinating Stampin' Up! Colors. Blackberry Bliss is the one that's included as a Stampin' Spot in the kit. There's also Daffodil Delight, Fleur de Flamingo, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Pecan Pie, Pretty in Pink, Berry Vanilla, and Gold in this kit. So choose one of those that you've got in your stash, and you can stamp away. I like these tags too because you can even get a refill with, which includes all the supplies that you're actually stamping with tonight from my card club kit, and you can use whatever stamp set that you want along with it. The refills end up being about half the price because you're not paying for the ink pad or the stamps, so that's a really good deal. Give you some crafting inspiration with some prep supplies, and you can play along with it. So I'm just putting a little bit of Stampin' Seal along the back here, and then I'm going to put on my beautiful vellum. I think I'm going to put it on like this. Then after that, I put the dimensionals on the back of that, so it pops up everything a little bit more. So pretty. And so easy to put this card together. You won't even believe it. And then you can take your stamped saying and put that right over the top. Now, if you're like me, you might be missing some little embellishments. So let's take a look and make sure that they're not, oh, there they are. They're hiding in my envelope. So make sure you're digging around in there a little bit to see if those are missing. It comes with 3 of them for this project. I'm using my Take Your Pick tool to put them onto the project. It just makes them so much easier to adhere. I put 2 up at the top and then 1 down at the bottom, and ta-da, now you've got this gorgeous card that has a lot of beautiful natural pieces, but you've taken it up a notch just with that little bit of ink application. It will look beautiful in pretty much any color. You could do the soft pink, you could do the dark Blackberry Bliss. And so normally I take you through the products that we use to put the projects together, but this card here, all you need is the Notes from the Heart Paper Pumpkin from me. If you want to take it up a notch, you can again get a blending brush of your choice. Again, they're available in large or small. So there's a small, there's a large. You can see the difference there. And so you can get a 3-pack of either of those and create these and have them all looking different. Just going to switch here, make sure everything is good. Oh, hey, Priscilla, so cute. Oh, I love that. Thank you, Donna. It's so good to see you guys. Thanks for joining. All right, let's keep crafting here. We're on to our first official project of Card Club. It looks something like this. Okay, so this is actually using our brand new online exclusives, which are all about pairs. This suite centers around the Perfectly Paired stamp set, which has a coordinating die pack. And I'm just going to show you a little bit before we get started here as you're getting your supplies out and ready to go. This has a whole bunch of dies that fit perfectly around stamp images, and also the designer series paper, which I'm going to show you in a second, which is what I use to cut out your images. So this one goes around this. And you've got the 2-step stamping here too, so that you can get this beautifully colored in easily with a stamp. There's so many different ways that you can do that. You can ink it up with just one color, or you can go back and use like a sponge dauber or even like a blending brush, and you can put ink onto the stamp even with something like this, like a blending brush, make it multicolored. Maybe we've even got speckles and little almost bruise marks. I was actually cutting up a pear out at the lake, and I was looking at all of the different colors that are included in it. There was like almost an orange yellow and a true like mustard yellow, and there was pink and red, and it kind of had everything, and like this really bright limey green color too. And then it all had like brown speckles all over it. So you can really play a lot, I think, with this and have a lot of fun. This also includes a bunch of standalone dies. I call them standalone dies because they don't cut out a stamped image. They have a branch which you can attach all these beautiful pears to, a small and a large tag, so you can put your sayings in there. Flowers that are connected, flowers that are separate, but the die is connected, which is so nice because with one crank through, you're going to get 5 little flowers, which you can embellish your card with. And then this is like a little textural piece, which you can put in behind. So all of these dies will cut out paper and make it look so beautiful, like a really gorgeous finished product. Oh, I should pop these in here too. So like I said, these dies don't just coordinate with the stamp set, they coordinate with the designer series paper too. So included in your project kit, you've actually got pieces that are cut out of designer series paper, and it just coordinates perfectly with those dies. So you've got the little sprigs to put those onto the pears, you've got the flowers, you've even got like 2 pears at a time. So I don't have that sheet available anymore because I needed both sheets in this designer series paper pack to cut out the pears for all of the kits that I send across Canada. But this paper is so pretty. It's 12 by 12 inch paper, and this you can actually cut into making 9 card fronts. The center one's not very exciting, but you know, there's always the other side of the paper, right? But that one you can actually use on a card front and just embellish it with maybe even like a little saying or something on there. It's really simple to add on to these designer series papers and really take them up a notch. This is another really pretty one. Look at that. So many colors, so dark and moody. I really love that one. And then you've got some lighter pears here. And then of course the backgrounds here are always a little bit more of a repeating pattern. The other patterns that we have in that designer series paper that I don't have the ability to show you are the designer series papers that we use for these squares. This is one of my favorite layouts, and I can't wait to put it together with you, but this is what the finished card is going to look like. And you might have the pink color scheme, you might have the yellow color scheme, but you can see we've got this rip that happens, and it actually matches perfectly. So I'm going to show you how to do that, as well as stamping a saying. And I did some little speckles in here. So there's and behind there you can see a little bit some speckles, and I just did that in the same color as the cardstock base, so basic beige, but you can use any light color. Just make sure you're stamping off and testing it on a scrap piece of paper before you commit to putting it on your project. So we're going to put this together. It's so easy, so fun. So we'll put these to the side, and we're going to focus on these 2 pieces here. So what we're going to do is layer them up, and this doesn't have to be perfect, but just try your best. And we are going to put this nearly in the half, like it just needs to be sort of in the middle. Then we're going to take these and actually tear slightly on the diagonal, and we're tearing both of these together at the same time. I'm starting off maybe 2/3 here and then 1/3 here, and then kind of going down and across. Then you can see once we kind of stagger those, you get the most perfect little torn edge that matches. Isn't that great? I love it. So we can do that with the top and the bottom, but before we put it together, let's make sure that we stamp our saying here. So I'm going to use, surprise, surprise, the Perfectly Pairs stamp set. This one here has a lot of great sayings, so I'm really enjoying this. A good friend is a gift. Because I think pears, if I'm not mistaken, pears are a sign of friendship or something. Like pears are like, I don't know, are pears like pineapples? Like they symbolize friendship? Maybe I'm imagining this. Oh, the cloud cover is so beautiful, isn't it? That's this lighter blue color that I've just been obsessed with. Oh, I'm doing things behind camera. I'm not showing you. All right, let's back this train up. Okay, I'm using Secret Sea. This is one of our new ink colors for our in colors, and it actually coordinates with this piece of paper that we're going to use to layer. If you don't have this one, don't worry about it. You could use any color that you wanted. So there's lots of greens in this one, Mossy Meadow and Old Olive. You could pick up some of the pinks. You could use a gray, and that would look really beautiful as well. So I'm just going to ink this up and then put this. Oh, look at this. I did my tear going a different way this time. That's fun. Every time is a new adventure, right? Even when you design the card, it's like you might do it differently the next time, right? So the next thing that I'm going to do is use the basic beige, which probably won't even barely show up on camera here. Basic beige. And I'm going to use the splatter from this stamp set. I love a good splatter stamp. I'm a little bit of a control freak. I like things just so, and I know that when I do a stamped splatter, it's going to be pretty much perfect. So I love a splatter, and I find that I use it on a whole bunch of different cards. Once I have it in a stamp set, then I just keep going back to it. So I'm just bringing in my little bit of scrap paper here. It's actually the supply sheets from last month, so those come in handy. If you are wanting the supply sheets, you'll have to be a part of my email newsletter list. So tomorrow I'm going to be sending out the email with all of the supplies that I used and pictures of the projects and even some dimensionals for you too. You can see I'm stamping off because it gets a little bit heavy-handed, I find, if you were to stamp it full strength. So this is a way of lightening up your ink. And it means that you can get all colors of, or I guess all various intensities for all of your different ink pads. So I'll show you a little bit closer up here. You can see the difference there. It just softens it. It just makes it feel a little bit lighter and not so drastic. So on the back side here, let's start layering up our project and putting this together. So I'm grabbing the piece that goes along with it. And I'm not worrying about matching up anything on the back side here, just the sides, so that those come together really nicely. There we go. And now we can put our project together. If you want to just double check, I've given you a fair bit of leeway, but you may want to, if you have like a really drastic angle that you've taken here, you might want to make sure that you're putting this where it needs to be, kind of maybe up or down. I can put mine nearly in the center because I know I've got enough overlap to not have the edges visible under here. So I'll put that into the center. And this, you can see I've done some sneaky stamping. Sneaky stamping techniques include stealing bits of the paper that your recipient will never know are missing. Haha, so sneaky. So I punched those two out. We're going to use them on the last project that we're crafting here today. I'm putting this all together with Stampin' Seal, and then I'm going to put the front embellishments, like the top embellishments, on with some dimensionals. So I'm just working around, making sure that I've got the same border, top, bottom, and sides, and just matching it up with the piece of designer series paper that's already on there. Aren't these pears just beautiful and elegant? They're kind of everything. I think that they suit many different seasons. It doesn't have to be just fall or summer or spring. I really like the look of them. They've got that greenery, but it's not overly floral, right? It kind of reads more as fun and playful than a traditional floral card. I'm putting this on again with some more Stampin' Seal because I've made the borders quite narrow, so I want to make sure it's placed just so. There we go. And then now some dimensionals on the back side here. Will these fit on here? I can't remember. Yes. There we go. So just take off the backings, and dimensionals are my favorite. They just add so much wow factor to the project. So I try to put on usually kind of as many as I can within reason. So we'll put this little sprig on there. I don't want it hanging off the side of the card because then it won't fit into the envelope, but you can have a little bit of overlap. Just don't go too crazy. And then the final finishing touch is to put on these low profile dots. I've got two big ones, so I'm going to put a big one and a small one down at the bottom, and then the third up at the top here. Cute, if I do say so myself. Isn't it fun? I really like this card, and I don't know, it opens vertically. I just think it's really fun. You can of course stamp a saying inside. I like to leave mine blank because I write a big long message on the inside of mine. And another reminder too, just make sure that you keep the clear envelopes that these come in. Your supplies come in clear envelopes because you can keep reusing them. And boy, oh boy, do I reuse them so much. I store my cards like this. I actually tuck the little flap inside here. And that just means that when I'm rifling through my box of cards, all of the embellishments stay exactly put where I want them to be. So it protects my cards. You can also mail in these cards. So you can put a mailing label on there. I can put it on the back. You can even write the address on the back of the card. Or sometimes I include just a piece of like photocopy paper, and you can write the return address on there. And if you're really clever about your layout, you can even use the stamp to help to seal up. So these have a double-sided sticky bit that you can peel off, stick that on there, and then put the stamp over top. And oh no, there we go, like this. There, I know how letters work, you guys. Ooh, that was a minute though, wasn't it? Okay, so when you're writing a letter, this is like grade 5, but when you're writing a letter, you put the to there, you put the from there, and then you put the stamp up here. Thanks for tuning in for my talk about how to mail a letter. Oh boy. So what do we have from our annual catalog that we've used on this project? Well, nothing. I've got nothing flagged there. And the reason is they are all online exclusives. So the Perfectly Pairs Suite collection is available, and you can get all the products in that suite, which I don't have the embellishments to show you, but you can take a look online and it will break it down really nicely. I do have the ribbon though. We're going to be using that on our final project here. So I'm kind of mixing, matching a little bit with the suites. But the ribbon included in this one is this gold and mossy meadow ribbon, which is so sparkly, so pretty. Of course, you got the Perfectly Pairs bundle. And that one comes with the stamp set and the dies for 10% off. You also have the Painterly Pairs 12 by 12 designer series paper. From a different suite, I've actually pulled in these low profile dots. I think they're so stunningly gorgeous, and they are called low profile dots, which in my opinion is a quite boring name for how much wow factor these have. You can just see how luminous they are. They come in the pink color, which I've included in your projects, and it also has the gold color too, so you can kind of play around with those. The pink color is petal pink, which matches with a lot of our designer series paper. Then we've got Secret Sea cardstock, cloud cover, basic beige, basic white cardstock, and we used a couple of ink pads there. It's a really simple project and really effective. I love that the cutting for this is really easy. It uses a 4" by 4" square of designer series paper. So out of one sheet of designer series paper, you can actually make 9 of these cards. And you can change around this design to suit any different theme. So your embellishments could be just switched out a little bit. And there you go. You've got a pear card. You could have a monkey card. You could have whatever you wanted. And the ephemera packs are really good for this. The ephemera packs come with a whole bunch of different images that you can mix and match and put together on cards. So definitely think of those. And you can mass produce a lot of these cards, which look, I think, really beautiful. And it's nice to be able to donate cards. So whenever I make cards, I always make, wow, I'm a little crazy. My happiest number for making cards is 24 at a time. At least. I just want to make at least 24 cards at a time. And that's because, I don't know, the cutting dimensions just work out so much better when you're prepping for that many cards. But I understand that not everyone is as intense as me. And if you're looking for then a number that also works really well, which is much more reasonable, is 12, but still that's quite high. Then go to 6. Maybe you're even just making 4 or 2. But I think, you know what, if you're making 1 card, you might as well make 2, because you know you're going to use them, or you can gift them to other people who will use them. So the next card that we're going to do here is also featuring cloud cover. And this has the option of turning into a shaker card if you do a minimum $100 order with me this month. So this is the card design just kind of as is without the shaker component, and I just love this. It features a lot of this really bold designer series paper, which looks so fun and different for this. It kind of makes it modern, but I know that boho is a little bit of like an eclectic, like blast from the past. So this suite is called boho. What is it called? They always do the designer series paper. They say boho vibes is the suite. And so that kind of it reminds me of then the past. But I think that this is quite a modern looking rainbow because it's not our standard rainbow colors. Now, if you want to turn this into a shaker card, oh my goodness, it's so cute. So if you place a minimum $100 order, what you're going to get from me is a pack of these Champagne Iridescent Dots. And these come, like I said, with so many in a pack. You can see how pretty they are. You can see even some of them have the flat back showing there, and some of them have that like really shiny front showing. And so you can use them just with like a tombow and glue them onto your project like you would a pearl. Or you can put them into a little shaker, so like this. So when you purchase a $100 minimum from me this month, you'll receive those shaker dots, a full container, which will do so many of these shaker cards. And then you'll also receive a piece of acetate to make your shaker card and the foam adhesive strips, just a couple of those to go around your cute little rainbow there. So adorable, right? Oh my gosh, so cute. So I'll put those there. Let's take a look at what bits and pieces I have included for you here. So make sure you get your envelope fully empty so that you can remember those dots. All right. Oh, another great thing to get on free shipping day is the glass mat. This is an amazing tool. It comes with this silicone, which I'm absolutely obsessed with because it means that I don't lose things anymore, which if you've been crafting with me for a while, you know that that's kind of my thing. Things scatter and things get crazy. I haven't wet this recently actually, but this is a simple chamois that is super thin. So you just wet it and it becomes soft and supple, and you can use it to clean your glass mat. You can use it to clean your stamps. It just picks the ink right up off of whatever material you're wiping, and it glues it to your simple chamois. Our simple chamois normally come, ooh, this one, it started out purple, but it's looking a little rough. All you have to do though is rinse it until it runs clean, and then it's good to go for even more. But when you're cleaning, all you do is just scrub here, and you have a bit of water. I put mine in a clear stamp case that we get as a set of 4, and with those it will stay moist for a couple of days actually. Oh, stepping out of your comfort zone for sure. I love that, Priscilla. And I know that you have a glass mat. What do you think of your glass mat? Will you tell me that too? Stampin' Seal can go onto the designer series paper, and you can choose whichever side that you want. So some of you are going to have this kind of like wavy pattern. Some of you are going to have this like polka dot pattern. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking I might go with the back side here, which is a secret C. I don't know why I'm calling it the back side. You can use whatever side you want. Which is the front? Which is the back? Who am I to say? Don't let me boss you around. You do you. So then you can put your little strip on there on the top and the bottom. And then we're going to do some stamping. So you can see on here, I have done some stamping with the sayings a little bit differently on each of these cards. I'll tell you what's the same on each of these cards. They're both shiny. Oh, can you see it? There's a sheen on these, and that's because I've used clear embossing powder. With this one, I used our clear Versamark ink. Clear Versamark ink. And that makes it super sticky so that you can put on whatever color of embossing powder you want. I chose clear because I like this kind of tone-on-tone look, and the shininess really adds to it. But I wanted to remind you that with the clear embossing powder, you can actually use whatever color that you want of ink, and as long as you work quickly, you can actually get any of our regular inks, like our classic Stampin' pads, into shiny embossed ink. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm using a couple of different stamp sets for this card. The one that goes along with this boho vibes is this sunshine vibes, and that's the stamp set that coordinates with the there they are, the dies. So I'll take you through these kind of at the end, but just know these two go together, and that's where that sending good vibes came from. I also love Darling. I use that a lot. I love Darling. To me, Darling is tender and loving and caring and just so sweet. It's to me the true word for my friends. So I know I'm going to use that one a lot. But thanks and hello are pretty great too. I really like this stamp set because you've got all these like kind of additional images that you can put onto your card, and I've used those for the inside. So this one here I stamped just along the bottom. Can you see that? And I've done the embossing in there too. And then this one here is from the Not 29 Anymore. I'll take you through that in a second, but on the inside I stamped this image along the bottom, kind of in like a random pattern, and then put the happy birthday from Not 29 Anymore in the center there. This was done with Versamark ink, so you get that tone-on-tone kind of look. I don't know if you can see, but it's really nice and shiny. It's so pretty. Okay, Not 29 Anymore is a really funny stamp set. I love this one. So it's like got a little bit of an edge to it, which is kind of perfect. So you've got so many candles. You've got free cake. You've got let's get this party started so I can be home by 9 o'clock. And then you've got older but still cool. Or you can put it with older but not wiser. You've got, of course, the happy birthday. Treat yourself because I didn't get you anything. That's perfect for when you're giving a gift card. Here's to another year of questionable decisions. Like, so funny to me. And then the one that I used on the card here. I don't know about you, but I feel like you're not 29 anymore. And then you could even put this one on the inside if you want. It's all fun and games until your metabolism slows down. And like, truth, right? Truth. I think we can all feel a little bit of that sometimes, right? Oh boy. Okay. I love it when I can laugh. Yeah, free cake. Woo! Oh, Priscilla, I'm glad you love your glass mat and you use your chamois all the time. Oh, I'm so happy for you. That's just wonderful. Speaking of colors that I love and keep going back to, we've got the cloud cover, which I've used on both projects, and now the secret sea, which I've used on both projects. So you can tell which are my new favorite ink colors. I'm going to use this one along with, I think I'm going to, since it's all mounted up already, I'm going to do the same as this one here. Don't know about you, but I feel like you're not 29 anymore, I think is a really fun one. So I just have to make sure, remind you to have your embossing powder handy. If you are embossing with water-based ink, which is what our classic ink pads are, it absorbs into the paper fairly quickly. And I mean, that's kind of what we love about it, because we can get on with our crafting and we don't have to wait too long for it to dry. I don't know about you, but I feel like you're not 29 anymore. So I'm going to take that and then quickly scoop some embossing powder on there, and it's going to stick onto the wet areas. Then to finish this off, I'm going to heat emboss it, and you'll see when it starts to change. It's so rewarding. You see it changing from like that white tea powder, and it's taking on that true dark blue color. And I'm not going to do this maybe on camera, but I'll let you, do the inside of it. And if you wanted to, you could turn it into happy birthday, something like that. You can use Versamark by itself as well, but I really like the ability to turn it into like shiny. It just looks so pretty. Okay, so I don't know about you, but I feel like you're not 29 anymore. I'll put that ink away because I'm done with that. And now I'm going to show you how to put this together if you are not making a shaker card. So if you're making this kind of version of it, where you've just got the pieces of paper kind of floating over the top. Oh, I've got a little bit, there we go, hanging out here. There we go. Little confetti bits. There we go. Okay, so if you're putting it on just like this, what I did was put dimensionals right up close. And I'm talking close like this, where it's right up to the edge of that opening. Can you see that there? Oh, there we go. So you can see right up to the edge of the opening. And that way, when I put this on, it's actually going to grip it in a few different places. So I did there, in the middle, and then I cut little pieces of the borders of my dimensionals, and I put them on the sides there where it's a little bit closer. So if you're not going to do the shaker card, then this is how you put it together. You'd also put on some dimensionals over here, and I would put one kind of up in this corner as well to hold this on and make sure that it's sticking off. Then this is going to be flat against here. So when you're putting this on, it's got the dimensionals there, and then you can put a little bit of Stampin' Seal on the back here because that's going to go flat onto there. You don't want to put it onto the yellow because the yellow is going to be popped up with a layer of dimensionals. But I hope you're understanding what I'm picking up what I'm putting down, right? So now let me show you how to make a shaker card, because I think this is even more fun. And I hope you'll take me up on my offer with my little freebie there. Because I actually had the idea while I was prepping out at the lake to make a shaker card and turn this into a shaker card. But unfortunately, I had to do a really quick turnaround for dropping these off and getting them in the post and getting them in the bin. So I couldn't convert everyone's into a shaker card. But I thought, oh my gosh, why don't I, instead of doing that, I can offer it as a special gift. And so I looked and I found these perfectly colored shaker dots, the iridescent ones, and Oh, what am I doing? Stop! Stop everything. You're doing it in the wrong order, Kelly. If you did this, don't worry, not everything is lost, but you may want to just, can you see me? I'm huffing on it so that it softens the adhesive so I can peel it off. Because the first step in a shaker card is not to put this border on, even though it might tempt you. It's to put the container closer on. So what we have to do is put some Stampin' Seal on here and put a window sheet in. Whew, that was a close one, guys. That was nearly as close as they come, because I was like a steam train heading away from that shaker card, wasn't I? Okay, clear acetate sheet. These are our window sheets. They come 12 by 12, and they're much more rigid than an envelope. And it gives a really fun look. So now that I've got the closer on the front of my container, I can start building up the walls of my container. And these are made of dimensional strips, so the same thing as those little hexagons, but they're actually, I have a little bit of adhesive on there. Oh man, I'm making a mess of this. That's okay. Let's start fresh here. They're made of the exact same material of the dimensionals, but they're actually almost twice as thick. So what that means is it gives whatever is inside your shaker card the ability to shake around a little bit easier. So you can't really use dimensionals for this. You need to get these special double thick dimensionals that come in these strips. You can use these ones as if they were other dimensionals if you wanted to, but these ones are really perfect for shaker card application. So you see that I'm actually putting a little bit in the center here, and I'll show you why that is when I finish this up. You'll want to stay as close to the edge as you can so that everything that's inside your little shaker stays visible. If you had, you know, if you put this way over here, well, you'll have other problems too, and I'll show you why. But you will also have all of your little sprinkles hiding over behind the cardstock. So just make sure you've got your border here that you're putting on right around the opening of the rainbow. Okay, so I put the extra little strips here so that when I put this onto my card, it's not going to fold down like that. It's going to stay level at the same plane. So again, if you chuck those out, or if you don't have those, you'd have to put two dimensionals on to get the same kind of thickness as over here. So I just use the extra little pieces that I have over there. And now the reason why I like to put this as a little inner arc is because of the way that this paper is trimmed. So you can see this one actually has it cut out. So what I'm trying to do is seal it off and make a fully closed container so I can lift this piece up and place it down on my cardstock base and not have little bits flying everywhere. Speaking of little bits, let's get these Champagne Iridescent Dots. These are all different sizes, so whenever I'm using them, I always like to dig down to the bottom a little bit, which will expose some of the smaller ones. There we go. Ta-da! Put a little healthy pinch in there. Now, if you wanted to, you can go through and spin them all so that they've got their shiny side out. I'm less concerned about that, but I might do some of the bigger ones here. If you're ever dealing with these little shaker pieces and you're feeling like they're a bit of a pain, don't fret. Your best friend here is going to be your Take Your Pick tool, which has a putty tip at the end, and you can actually separate it and work together with it like this. There you go. Oops, there you go. I did the big ones, and I'm going to let the smaller ones be in whatever way they want to be. Oops, that doesn't work. There's the lid for that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is flip this over so that we have the side that we want showing facing out, And then now we can place that on there. Now you could do this before or after placing it on. For some reason I just always do it after I place it on top. It's a funny little thing. But I'm going to put the adhesive on there because this is going to be adhered onto my cardstock backing. Oh my gosh, Priscilla, that's funny. I like to say I'm 29 plus shipping and handling. Yeah, shipping and handling, that's hilarious. Yeah, and the shipping, oh, I don't have the backing removed off of these. That's why it's not sticking on there. There we go. The shipping and handling gets a bit rougher every year. Right? Am I right? So then we're going to put that on there like that. Oh my gosh, that's so stinking cute. I love it. I love, love, love it. And now we're going to take this little twine. I bet you don't know where this came from because this is an online exclusive product that looks totally different. This is actually taken from the braided trim. This is petal pink color, which you're hearing me talk a lot about today. Petal pink is a really popular color with a lot of Stampin' Up! Products. And I want to say this ribbon is so versatile. So you can see here that the ribbon comes in like a fine braid. Sorry, just a sec. There we go. In a fine braid. You can pull it apart a little bit and expose even more of the weaving. It looks almost like a Celtic weave in my opinion for that section. Or if you wanted to, you can actually separate it out and turn it into these cute little natural woven twine pieces. So that's what I've done for you. I cut a piece about this long, separated it out, and you actually get 12 different strings out of that section. So I've given you 2 strings to work with here, and we're going to tie that in a little bow and put that onto our project with a mini glue dot. Here we go. So I'm just kind of tying it in a little bow, and then I'm going to finesse it. And you never get a little bow right off the bat. You have to keep working at it and making the loops smaller and smaller and then pulling it tight. But I just love this ribbon. I don't know why I love this one so much. I think I like the little fuzzy bits coming off of it because it just adds so much more visual interest to for my eye here. So I'm using a little mini glue dot, and I'm going to put this down in the lower corner there to trim off the extra on here. That ribbon, I think, is just so versatile, and I really like the feel of it. It feels a little bit more natural than some of our ribbons. It's not silky smooth. It's like that little bit of fuzz on it really helps it to grip together in place. And then the finishing touch on this one are 5 of these little dots. So I got 2 big ones. I'm going to put one up here, one down there, and then 3 small ones. A little small one up there, and then 2 small ones down here. There we go. Cute, right? So a really simple, easy, and adorable little shaker card here. Or if you're just doing the plain version, I think that one looks really fun too. And that little bit of embossing really takes it up a notch. All right, let's talk about where these products come from, because these ones are mostly from the annual catalog, actually. So in the annual catalog, we have a suite called, there it is, Boho Vibes. So Boho Vibes includes a whole bunch of products that work really well together. You've got your Sunshine Vibes bundle, which comes with that stamp set I was showing you, and also these dies. So the stamp set, oh, that's not the right one. This is the stamp set. It doesn't really have coordination between the stamps and the dies. The dies can totally work on their own, and they're really fun this way, actually. So the dies that I used on your project to prep it are the outline here of the rainbow, and then the rainbow pieces that get cut out. So if you wanted to, you could actually run this through 5 times, because there's 5 arcs that get cut out, and you could do it with 5 different colors. Then you can mix and match the pieces so that each rainbow has the 5 different colors as a part of it, and then you end up with 5 multicolored rainbows. How cute, right? The other way that you can use this set is, of course, using the negative image like what we did here. So keeping the outside piece and then leaving the little pieces that get cut out. I've collected those in another thing, and we'll see if they revisit for another project. But you can also use these other special pieces as a layer on top of this outline. So all of these arcs, these 5 arcs, go together, and you can see on the projects there's some really fun ideas, like this Hello Darling, which has like the outline cut out and then these other items kind of recessed into it. So it's really fun to put these together and to make them so cute. Look at this cute little rainbow. Oh, I love it. You also have these little branches that go along with it, so you can play around with a lot of different shapes. There's also little hearts and little stars. So it's like modern and retro at the same time. I don't know. I love this set so much. And rainbows to me are just pure happiness. My daughter, every time she sits down to draw like a card or a picture, it always includes a rainbow. She just loves rainbows, and so do I. Also included in this suite are the embellishments that we used on the project that I included for you. So these ones are called muted palette dots, and these ones come in, they're not going to tell me on this page, they'll tell me on the other page. Let's see if I can figure it out. Boho blue, no, I can't figure it out. They're later in the catalog here. Let me just see if I can find them. Mossy Meadow, Cloud Cover. Boho Blue is a retired in color. What was I talking about? Daffodil Delight and Petal Pink. All right, there we go. That's why they got them listed in the back there. The designer series paper is really fun. I've used some of it on your projects because I wanted to showcase it in different ways. And this card is actually quite designer series paper heavy because you've got the background pieces and the internal pieces, but I really like the colors in this pack, and you can put it together in really fun and different ways. You can cut out with your scissors and make these little rainbows, half rainbows, into little rainbows on your cards. This is a fun one too. I like that one. That's great. And let's see what else we got here. On page 102, this is a little sneak peek and a Q&A for some of our tools, and the heat tool is featured there. It says, can I use a hairdryer for heat embossing? And the answer is absolutely not. It doesn't get hot enough. The heat tools really truly get so warm. So get one heat tool. It'll last you so long. I think I still have my original heat tools that I purchased nearly 19 years ago. So on page 113, we've got our foam adhesive strips, and we use those to make that shaker card. On page 125, again, I talked about the muted palette dots. The Versamark I use for that tone-on-tone look and for using it as a super sticky ink for my heat embossing. On page 132, you can see our Wow embossing powders, which come as different packages. You can get basics that have black, white, and clear. So the clear that I use would be in that pack there, and that clear can be whatever color that you want because you can just stamp any color of ink there. And then there's also the metallics, which is copper, gold, and silver. I think there's also that ribbon that's an online exclusive, and Not 29 Anymore I think is an online exclusive as well. So Not 29 Anymore is a really fun and different set. And then also the Petal Pink braided trim that's an online exclusive. All right, are you guys ready for our last project? I hope so, because it's coming at ya. This one here is a bit of a fun fold, and you can customize this however you'd like. So I'm going to start by showing you. Should I do that? Maybe I should, shouldn't I? I'm going to turn it over like this. So these are going to be your supplies that you get. This is using a brand new 3D embossing folder, which is just spectacular. It's a really big rectangle. So you can see I actually could do 2 of the card fronts. So 1 card front and the 2nd card front in here at the same time. And I did a really special technique which involved inking up the embossing folder. So I used Misty Moonlight and I used my brayer. This is our new brayer, which is a little bit different than the brayer that we had in the past. In the past, we had a brayer that was really soft and squishy, and you could do a lot of really different kind of inking up techniques with that. This one is really firm rubber, which has different techniques associated with it. So what I did to prep your project is I actually inked up the embossing folder. I did it on the side that has the logo so that it would be pressed into the paper. So the part that's raised up here that's getting ink will end up when you put it through your embossing, sorry, just over my shoulder here, you can see the Big Boss, the Stampin' Cut Paper Embossing, blah, blah, blah. That's the tool, right? Blah, blah, blah. So what I did then is put the paper in there, sandwiched that up, cranked it through my machine, and what came out ended up looking like this, which is so stunning because it's got lots of texture and it's got the color pressed into the base. Now, if you wanted to, you can do your project 3 different ways. So you can actually turn it over and have just here the, oh, come on, I've colored a little bit on that one. So just here on the vanilla, and you can have that onto your project. Or you can have it as this version, which is just the monochromatic with that pop of yellow. Or if you want, you can use your Stampin' Blends and you can color it up and really pop out these sunflowers. It's so satisfying to color this embossed paper. Your ink just kind of glides onto it and it looks really, really cool and really fun. So I'm going to showcase that a little bit. But I just love this technique. Oh, I should mention too, when you're using your brayer has little legs. So when you're done using it, you're going to just rest it on the table like this with the legs down, and you can see it lifts the brayer up off the table. And when you're ready to use it, you just turn it over so the legs are up in the air, and that's how you're going to ink it up and use it. So I can just put this over on the side here, and it's just resting on its legs and keeping everything clean on my space. Oh, I should mention something else. So this, I said, was a fun fold, and the fun fold is like an easel card. So you're going to open it up just as you would like a normal card, and then it can fold in and just display your saying and your little message that you've handwritten in there. And so, you know, on a mantle, this just looks so perfect, sitting up like that. It's like a little work of art. Love that one. So same thing for this one here. Okay, so let's get started putting our card together and doing some color in here. So like I said, I'm using the Stampin' Blends, and I'll tell you which colors I'm using. So to do the center of the flowers, I used the Pecan Pie Dark and Light. They come in a set, so you get both of them. And I just did little dots with the fine tip with the darker one. I'm going to go a little bit faster than I did last night. I got this kind of half color last night. And there we go. And I think there's maybe one other center over here. There it is. So you might not be able to tell what's what in your embossed piece, but I'll tell you what, you get to decide what's what. So if you want to make it a flower petal, you can. If you want to make it a leaf, you can. So I like to go over the dark with the light. That to me just gives, I don't know, it's the quickest application, and I find it's just beautiful. So There we go. And then now I'm going to work on my flowers. So I'm going to start with some light Cajun craze. That's going to give like almost a peachy tone. And then I've got some pumpkin pie. I think I was using the medium, sorry, the light pumpkin pie. There's no medium. Don't let my words deceive you. I'm not working with like a special set of markers here. I just don't have a mouth that works. And then I'm using some light and dark Daffodil Delight. So how I work my paper here is, whoa, you know what? I was doing this last night. This tube keeps coming off and I don't know why, but if that happens to you, just put it back on, pinch really hard. Oh, and then you should be able to, oh my gosh, this worked so well for me last night to demo this. And now of course it's not going to work because this is the video recording. Okay, I'm going to pull it off like that. There we go. And you can put it back together. Whew. I don't know why that happens. It only happens with this one. So that's interesting, isn't it? But of course, this is the one that I'm using on these projects, so I have to keep popping it off. Okay, I'm putting the color up just like this, and then going back in with which color is this? Light pumpkin pie. And I'm just going to scribble kind of over top of this, blending it. Like I said, the Stampin' blends work really well in that once the color is on your paper, that's not where it has to be forever. So I'm actually able to move around the color that's already on there and really change it around. Then I'm going to do my dark Daffodil Delight. And then I'm doing the same sort of thing where I'm kind of coloring over the border. I'm going quite fast on this, you can see. And then I'm going to finish it up by going over the whole thing with some light Daffodil Delight. And that will lighten up the whole thing. Now you might be saying, Kelly, what's the combination of ink going to do when you're coloring on top of the blue that's already on there? And that's a really good question. So when we're using our Stampin' blends, which are a waterproof ink, those work really, really well with an ink that is alcohol. Sorry, did I say these are alcohol markers? Okay. Stampin' blends are alcohol markers. They work really well with a water-based ink, which is called Memento. If you are watercoloring, so using like a water paintbrush or something like that, and coloring onto your project, then it would work better to use our alcohol-based ink, which is called 𝙧𝙙𝙀𝙀. Have I confused you? Okay, I hope not. So the essence of what you need to be taking away from this is you can't have the same formulation for the outline stamping as the coloring that you're using, because the coloring will move around whatever the outline stamping is if they're the same formula. So you want opposite formula. So markers that are water-based have to go with an alcohol-based stamp ink, and markers that are alcohol-based have to go with a water-based stamp ink. Whew. So we typically say Memento is the best one to go with our Stampin' blends, but I want you to know that the Stampin' pads are actually water-based as well. So these ones work along with the Stampin' blends. Now you might get a little bit of fuzzing, is what I call it. And that's where you'll see it just, it will make the image just a little bit fuzzier. But for me, I don't mind that at all. Like, I think it looks great. So if that's something that bothers you, then, you know, definitely adjust accordingly. For the leaves, I'm going to just quickly do a leaf here. I've got dark old olive and light old olive and light and dark mossy meadow. So with the two of those together, I'm going to start with the darker one and just kind of go into some of the shadows. where these leaves kind of come together. And again, you're not being perfect here because this is all going to move and change and be adjusted. And then you can come in with the light version and you can go over top of the whole thing. So when you're working your way up to the edge of the other markers that you've already applied, just remember that this has the ability to change that, and it might even, depending on the newness, the juiciness of your marker, you might have a little bit of over bleeding. So if you're concerned about that, just pull it back a little bit from the border from where you're wanting to apply the color. So fun. I love that. Okay, so imagine that's all finished, that's all done. We're going to wrap this around by putting on a little bit of Stampin' Seal. So Stampin' Seal on the back side. I'm going to come back and I'm going to take apart this card and I'm going to finish the coloring afterwards. So you'll just have to pretend like it's done. So I'm going to wrap that around, and then the same thing here with this beautiful piece of shimmery gold and mossy meadow ribbon. So to hold this onto my base, I'm going to use my sticky strip, and because I'm planning on taking this card apart, I'm just going to put a little bit on the one side, and I'll put some in the center too. But when I come back and finish up this card, I will do a similar strip down this side, and that's just going to hold your ribbon in place perfectly, and it's also going to give us the opportunity to adhere this on really, really nicely to your Secret C piece of cardstock. So I use Misty Moonlight and Secret C on this card just to get a little bit of tonal variation in the blues, and you're going to put that together. Then when you imagine that beautiful sunflower is right on there, you're going to put it onto your cardstock base. This is very easy fun fold. It's scored in half, so you got your piece of 4 1/4 by 11-inch cardstock, and then it's scored in half at 5.5 inches, and then that's scored in half again, so 2 3/4 of an inch, and that's going to give this really fun little easel fold. So imagining once again that I've got this beautiful sunflower on there, I'm going to take the sunflower image like this, and I'm going to flip it over and apply adhesive only on the lower half. And I do this flip over technique just so that I can keep track of in my mind where to actually apply the adhesive and to make sure I'm not putting it too high up and then essentially gluing my card close. So now I can peel that off. I use tear and tape whenever I'm gluing on something that's a little bit more motion or action. And ta-da! You've got your beautiful card that then folds up and can easel open. Now the thing that's going to keep it easeled open is this little tag here. So we're going to do some stamping on that. You've got some coordinating colors that you can work off of. Secret C ink, you can work with Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, any of the yellows. The yellow color of the base is Daffodil Delight. And that's what I used actually yesterday. And I really like the look of that. I felt it was like nice and soft, but really easy to read. Maybe not on the camera, but it is in person. So I'm going to use that. Now, you don't want to be using this tag in a vertical way, if that makes sense. We're going to do it horizontal because we want the easel of this card to brace up against that flat edge. Okay, so that's going to go flat edge. It doesn't work so well, I don't think, to have it bracing up against this pointed edge. That's not a lot for it to rest onto. So put your tags, I'm saying in the horizontal way because for some reason that's how my brain is processing this stamp. And I'm going to use my double stamp set that I've just been obsessed with lately. It's called The Right Words, and it has sayings for the inside and outside of your cards. So the one that I'm using is, I wish I had the right words for a time like this, and then for the inside, but just know how much I love and care about you. And then we've also got sending good vibes. I know a good thing when I see it, and I see lots of good things in you. How about happy birthday? And to someone worth celebrating every single day. Or I've used on other cards, forever loved, forever remembered. And the one that goes with that one is hoping the loss you feel right now will be eased by wonderful memories. We've also got thinking of you, ... a lot. And what's the other one? Oh, this one. I miss you already, and I really don't like that you're leaving, but I hope you love where you're going. That's a nice saying, isn't it? So the right words is a stamp set that I think I've been using for 3 months straight now in card club projects. It's a really, really great one. Okay, so just like last month, we're going to take our tags and make a little bit of a border by snipping them in half. So we did this last month with the hexagon punch, and this one is the to the point punch, I think is what it's called. So by snipping it in half, we can take our Stampin' Seal, put little pieces on, and then make a little border. So I'm kind of lining it up a little bit, and then I actually press on the top and bottom and then pinch it to where it needs to attach. This tag is just so pretty. I love it so much. There we go. There we go. Okay, dimensionals on the back side of both of those. Oh, I think I put 4 on the back side of these ones because I just wanted to make sure that they were really stuck. They're going over top of the ribbon, and they're also going over top, well, sorry, I guess holding open that easel too. So it's nice to be able to put these on and know that they're going to stay put. All right, so the place that we want to put it is about 1 inch down from the top. Just kind of center it there. You can fold open your card. Imagine that's attached, you guys. You have a good imagination, right? So make sure that it's bracing properly there and nice and even. And then there you go. You've got your little tag that you can put on there. And this one's going to go, imagine it's attached. This one's just going to go right here on the front. And then you can put the little embellishments on there too. So these are plastic flat-backed embellishments, but they're so super shiny. I think that the camera is even blowing out the color of them there. So can you see them? I put 2 up there and 1 down here, 2 and 1. And what are you going to do? Are you coloring? Are you leaving it monochromatic? I want to know what you think about this one and where your taste is going, because I know some of you might be, in the interest of time, just leaving it as is. Some of you really, I know, like to play around. So I'm sure that there's going to be some of you who are really having fun with this and getting really excited about the coloring too. So let's take a look at our products, where they come from. I almost zoomed ahead there. So from our annual catalog, you've got the right words, which is that one that has the double sayings, one for inside and one for outside. We've got the To The Point label, which is a really versatile punch. And you guys know that I snuck it out of the paper on this card, right? Do you guys remember that those blue tags actually came out of the paper on this card so that we could use it for this card? The reason why I didn't use it on this card is because you might see it because this lifts open. So I just snuck it out of the other paper, and nobody will ever know, right? Shh, don't tell. Okay, so the To The Point label card is a really interesting punch. Sorry, To The Point label punch is a really interesting one, and you can see on this side of the paper here that you can actually make it as long or as short as you want. This was a really quick application, and I wanted to make sure that it was perfectly sized to be a border. Now, if you wanted to make just a longer tag and you weren't trying to layer them, the easiest way to do that is to cut a 2-inch wide piece of paper and slip it in just one of these. So go in from this side instead of through where you would normally put it in. Go in from the top and then have it sticking out the bottom, just like this picture. And then you can make this tag as long or as short as you want. So versatile. You can do that with any of these punches that have like a little bit more of a linear look. So keep that in mind. I love this catalog for giving us all kinds of techniques. And they even give us a project with this longer tag showcased. So make sure you're looking at your catalog because once again, there's just so many ideas in here. On page 108, you can see that brayer showcase, but you'll want to look online for the actual ability to add that to your cart. What do we do on this one? Oh, the flower accents. So these ones are similar to the pressed flower in terms of the size. So there's two that are kind of gold. This one is a very antique, whereas the ones that we use today are a plastic and they are super, super shiny. The pressed flower what are they called? Pressed flower motifs are actually made of metal. And so those ones are quite hefty. Page 128. Oh, there's that brayer. Oh, we got you, brayer. And last but not least, a reminder that we have those Stampin' Blend pairs in all of our in colors. So the ones that are carrying over a year and our new ones, as well as so many of our core colors. So there's just one there. There's 3 on that one, and then there's 2 on this one. Otherwise, you've got so many to choose from. So my advice is whenever it's free shipping, I like to top up my collections and make sure that I'm, adding to them in a really thoughtful way. For me, I like to have a nice variance in tone. I have nearly all of the marker colors, but I like to go through and just double check. The ones that I find I go through a little bit more quickly and need to replace them because the tips are mashed or they get a little bit dry. The Old Olive, definitely like the lighter colors of Lemon Lolly and Daffodil Delight. And even Crumb Cake I use a lot as a shadow, or a Smoky Slate, you can use that as a shadow. So make sure you're taking a look and getting your collection topped up for free shipping because that is just the best deal. Okay, so now the part that means so much to me. So I hope you will comment. Even if you're watching on the replay, please will you comment along and tell me which one of our card designs that you liked the most tonight. That helps me to figure out, what you like, what you love, what you're gravitated towards. And I know that probably like me, you guys like a little bit of variety, and that's important to me too, but I'm always curious to see where your tastes kind of lead you. So if you're watching live, if you're watching along the replay, please comment and tell me, do you like the sunflowers, the rainbows, the pears, or do you like these beautiful green leafy ones from our paper pumpkin kit? So comment along. I can't wait to hear from you all. And I also can't wait to stamp with you very soon. So I'm home for a couple weeks and then I'm away for a couple weeks in August. So I'm actually moving forward our card club a week. So August 11th and 12th are our card club dates. So make sure you tune in and reach out to me if you plan on placing an order in August, because you will get your card club projects for free. And remember that during July is the best time to join, other than January, so that you can get those freebies from me for joining card club for 6 months at a time. So reach out to me. I'd love to have you crafting along with me. And you can do this at your own pace. You can watch me in fast forward. You can watch me in clips. You can work just off of the pictures, whatever you want to do. This is totally your stamping time, and I'm here to help to support you and to give you some inspiration. But you can also follow your own inspiration too and put these projects together however you like. So I am so glad that you joined me. Thank you very much, and I hope to stamp with you again very soon.